Every time UK's financial health is mentioned, the global media likes to mention that the seismic event of Brexit has not only reshaped the United Kingdom's economic and political landscape, but also its standing on the global stage. They will say that the decision to leave the European Union, a move that concluded years of contentious debate and negotiation, has led to significant shifts within the UK's economic structure.
Welcome to TFIGlobal, the antidote to mass delusion.
Economists at Goldman Sachs have actually quantified this impact, noting a substantial 5% reduction in GDP relative to the UK's peers, a stark testament to the challenges of navigating post-Brexit realities. They attribute this economic downturn to a confluence of factors including diminished trade with the EU, historically the UK's largest trading partner, reduced business investment, and a noticeable decrease in the influx of EU migrants. These migrants not only contributed to the workforce but also enriched the cultural and social fabric of the UK. They're also of the firm opinion that the UK's departure from the EU has initiated recalibration of its global economic and diplomatic relations. The quest to forge new trade agreements and strengthen existing ties has become paramount as the UK seeks to mitigate the economic fallout from Brexit. This transition period is marked by uncertainty and adaptation as business and policymakers navigate the complexities of a new economic paradigm. But if Brexit was the only reason, UK economy wouldn't have been in a free fall since 1991. In fact, the economic free fall was the reason why the Brexit movement gained momentum. Brexit was a good idea, as is evident from the economic performance of EU countries like Germany and Pre-Meloni Italy. But the way the Tories handled the UK economy post-Brexit is the reason why the UK is in such a pitiable state. Furthermore, the UK is still grappling with the economic aftershocks of the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic's global disruption has compounded the economic strain on the UK, necessitating significant governmental intervention to stabilize the economy and safeguard jobs. High interest rates aimed at tempering inflation further complicate the economic recovery, impacting borrowing costs and consumer spending. But what no one likes to mention is the price the UK is paying for hating the Russians. The UK's geopolitical stance, particularly its support for Ukraine amidst its conflict with Russia, highlights the country's commitment to financial harakiri. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's announcement of a £2.5 billion military aid package for Ukraine underscores the UK's fast descent into a state from where retreat won't be an option. The support, coupled with a security agreement aimed at bolstering Ukraine's defense capabilities, signals the UK's long-term commitment to Ukraine's sovereignty and its foolhardiness to destroy the once Great Britain. The response from Russia was quick in the form of sanctions against British citizens. The UK's unwavering support for Ukraine amidst its own economic challenges speaks to a deeper commitment to self-destruction. British media's coverage of these developments reflects a historical context of rivalry and contention with Russia, a narrative that dates back centuries. The current conflict is thus framed within a broader discourse of support for Ukraine, with little critique of the economic implications of such support for the UK itself. The British media is a party to the crime by not critiquing hoarding of British wealth to Ukrainian border only to be torched by Russian flamethrowers. So yes, Brexit does represent a pivotal moment in the UK's history, initiating a period of economic adjustment and geopolitical repositioning. The challenges were definitely manifold, encompassing economic contractions, the need for new trade and diplomatic relations, and the imperative of supporting international allies. But Brexit was a step in the right direction. If the UK wishes to survive and still be counted among nations in the 22nd century, it needs to stop funding Biden's war in Ukraine and use the money for the development of the country. Rishi Sunak was believed to be a good administrator, but the way he's extending Boris Johnson's Ukraine madness is simply beyond comprehension.